Steph Curry is a two-time regular season MVP winner, and he's a three-time NBA champion. And the odds favor that the Golden State Warriors are going to win the title again this year. So the consensus pick is so. There's a good chance that at age 30, Stephen Curry will be a four-time NBA champion. Contrast that to Michael Jordan, who at the age of 30 had three NBA championships. Magic Johnson, I believe when he was 29 years old, had already won five NBA championships. So when it, when you go as far as ring counting is concerned, um, Stephen Curry is up there with the all-time greats. But unlike those individuals that I mentioned, he has no final MVPs. In fact, Andre Iguodala won it back in 2015, and Andre Iguodala would be hard pressed to make it to uh, Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Um, One thing about Curry, man, and it's one of the reasons why I understand some people have Curry like in their top 20 or 25. I just can't do it because of, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I put more emphasis on what the great players do in the postseason. Regular season, yeah, it's important. It's important what they do in the regular season, you know. But in the playoffs is what I think makes legends. You know what I'm saying? And while he does get it done a lot, there's been a lot of times when Stephen Curry has failed to live up to the superstar expectations that most people have of him. And there's also with Curry that question mark of would he be nearly as dominant or as great if he didn't play on a team with so many different shooters and great players like, of course, a Kevin Durant or a Klay Thompson. Um, as we all know, Stephen Curry had one of the worst games of his career in the postseason last night in the 126-121 loss in overtime to the Houston Rockets. The Golden State Warriors could have taken a commanding three games to none lead had they won this game, and essentially the series would have been over. Um, Historically, no team has ever come back in the NBA from a three games to none lead. I think it's been done twice in hockey. I think it's been done once in Major League Baseball, of course, 2004 Boston Red Sox. Curry shot only 7 of 23 from the floor and 2 of 9 from 3-point range. Um, and he missed, I mean, that wasn't just the misses. He missed terribly. Just overall, just had a terrible game, just atrocious. And many people have been chastising Curry because he just recently stated that he wanted to take more shots. He think he needed to take more shots, and then he proceeded to miss 16 out of 23 shots. But statistically, he has a case for that though, because so far in this playoffs, Stephen Curry is averaging a career low, I believe, as far as he's averaging a career low in the playoffs as far as points per game. He's only averaging 22.6 points per game during this postseason, down from last year when he averaged 25.5 points per game in the playoffs, and down significantly from 2 years ago, which was Kevin Durant's first year with the club, when he averaged 28.1 points per game. The most he's ever averaged was in 2014-15. That was the year they won a championship the first time. Their 67 win team. That's the team that went to the finals and played LeBron when LeBron didn't have Kyrie Irving nor Kevin Love, and he averaged 28.3 points per game. So His shot attempts are way down. This year, he's averaging only 15.4 field goal attempts per game, which is down from last year when he averaged 20.3 field goal attempts per game. And this is the first year that he's averaging less than 10 3-point attempts per game since 2013-14 season when I think that's the year they lost in that 7-game series to the Spurs. So that's the first time. This is the first time he's averaging fewer than 10 3-point attempts per game. So his shot attempts are down. Um, so of course, where are these other shot attempts being gobbled up by? And apparently it's Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is having a sensational playoffs. I remember last year so much was made of LeBron James and the run that he had, and deservedly so. I think LeBron averaged 34 points per game, like 9 rebounds and 9 assists. He had a remarkable individual statistical run. But this year, Kevin Durant, I believe, is averaging 35. I think it's 35.6 points per game. Um, he already has had a 50-point game in the playoffs. Last night, he had 46 points on 14 of 31 shooting from the floor. I think he was 6 of 10 from 3-point range. Remarkable shooting. In last year's playoff, LeBron James had an effective field goal percentage of about 58%. Kevin Durant, during this playoffs, has an effective field goal percentage of 59%. In this playoffs, Kevin Durant is shooting 52% from the floor, 44% from 3-point range, and 92% from the free throw line. Um, and this is the fifth year where Kevin Durant will lead the NBA in postseason scoring on a points per game basis. So he is one of the all-time great players. And I always laugh when people say that Kevin Durant uh, wasn't as good as Stephen Curry. I mean, come on. I mean, Curry's a great player, but Kevin Durant is a top 10 all-time potential player, maybe even higher, in my opinion. Now, historically, right now, Kevin Durant still hasn't surpassed LeBron James, but I think it's closer than what many people think it is. Um, much closer. Before I go further, let me give a shout out to Joe Bud. Hope you're still listening, Joe Bud, if you hear this video at this point. Thank you for your donation to the channel. I really appreciate it. And I put a link to, I'll be putting a link to my PayPal account in the description box. One of the reasons why I've decided to do that is because YouTube, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, man. They haven't officially demonetized my channel, but there seems to be something going on as far as with ads or what have you. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube. But I put that in there. There's just, you know, I try to do as good a job as possible with these videos. And sometimes, it just would be, I don't know, I guess appreciated if you guys would show your love with whatever you can do as far as donations is concerned. And also, we'll be shortly opening up a Patreon account. And on my Patreon, I'll be able to talk about topics in a way that I cannot do on YouTube. So I'll be doing that soon. But back to the topic at hand, man. I think Golden State's still going to win this series. Um, I think they're probably going to win Game 4, and I think they're going to close out this series at Oracle Arena. That's my guess. If Houston wins Game 4, then we have a series. Then we have a series. Um, I just don't know whether Eric Gordon can put up 30 points again. I think he was, what, 7 of 14 from 3-point range, Eric Gordon. Um, I don't know. But James Harden had 41 points. He didn't have a bad game. He shot the ball reasonably well for a volume shooter, 14 of 32 from the floor, 5 of 13 from beyond the arc. Um, So, he did his part, despite only having one goddamn eye, apparently. But Stephen Curry, and I don't want to hear shit about his finger. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear anything about his goddamn finger because a lot of you dudes who are Warriors fans was crying bullshit about Harden with his eye. So I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about his goddamn finger. Okay? Kobe Bryant played with dislocated fingers. Michael Jordan played with dislocated fingers and various injuries. Kobe one year had so many goddamn injuries, it was ridiculous. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about his damn finger. Okay? So, in closing, Steph Curry, perennial playoff choker. He does it all the time. But because he has 3 NBA championships, he gets a pass. When other guys do it, there's more of a microscope put upon them. So